everybody, good morning from the desert. I'm just strolling around out here and it is the perfect time of year for prickly pear cactus fruits. So I've seen a couple while I've been exploring here and I'm just gonna go and look for one, and I figured today would be a good day to show you guys how to harvest the fruits. So before I did show the actual pads of the prickly pear, so just for, I guess, a little terminology out of the way here, if you're not familiar with them, the prickly pears, there's like a little tiny one down there, you can see, right? So that's basically a prickly pear cactus, and there's a lot of different kinds. I actually did a video where I went over the different kinds of, well, not all of them, but a good deal of prickly pears that you'll encounter. So if you haven't seen that, I have like a food and foraging playlist that I stick all those videos here on YouTube. So look for that if you're curious. I have some more, and then I showed you eating the pads. These ones are pretty spiny. The ones we ate didn't have that many spines. With stick on the way. Yeah, so we dealt with a prickly pear pad because, yeah, you can actually eat the pads, and I did that in the past. But today we're actually going to look at something else, and that's the fruits, which are good this time of year. It's sort of late summer, fall, and these fruits are starting. We're gonna find a better one than this, but you can see right there that sort of brownish reddish tinge on top of the pad. That's the fruit. So they'll call these, like, the Spanish term for this is nopales, but the just general term is prickly pear, the prickly pear cactus. The scientific term is opuntia, and that actually covers a wide amount of cacti. That's like the prickly pears you see here, and also these cholla. They're all in that genus. And then there's a lot, so it would be opuntia something, and that would be your different cacti. Like I said, including the cholla, which, believe it or not, if you know anything about cholla, they're crazy. But yeah, they have fruits on them as well. They'll have little yellow fruits, and they are edible. It's just the cholla is a little bit trickier. Believe it or not, the prickly pear is a little easier to work with. You get a cholla in the leg and you learn real quick that you need to be careful around those. But yeah, so let's just see if we can find ourselves a better fruit here, and then I'll show you from there, picking the fruit and preparing it. So I got a beautiful day here in the desert. I love the desert. It's so pretty, and kind of in a desert transition zone here, so lots of diversity of plants. And I know there's some good fruits up here, so let's see what we can find. Here's a little better of a fruit on this one. You can see, look at that guy. So that's a nice plump looking fruit there. This plant only has one left on it, so we could go with that one. I know there's more, so I'm gonna keep looking. It's fun because I'm walking around and you gotta watch, because the cholla likes to drop its little cholla balls all over the place, and then what you do is you kick them up on your legs, and then you got to pull them out. All right, here's a good one right there. I'll probably go for that one. That looks pretty good, and I noticed there's actually quite a bit around here. There's some more up there. So collect a couple fruits and go from there. Well, upon further investigation, it looks like something beat me to this. I don't know, or a rat, insects chew on it. There's some bites onto these pads too. Shows that the bighorn sheep were chewing on them. So I'm gonna have to find another one. So there's a lot of different ways to do this. When you're just out like this, you can actually pluck these off with sticks. You could just kind of hit it with a stick or find the right stick. But the old chopstick style actually works. If you kind of practice it and get a good grip, you can pluck them off and then you can hold them. But they're not too difficult to get off. The reason I'm using something like sticks to pluck these off is because if you look at a prickly pear cactus, what you'll see is, well, you see the big spines, but then there's actually, doesn't look like that many big spines on that fruit, but there's actually these tiny hair-like spines, and they're called glaucids, and they are a pain to get out. They're kind of like fibrillous, so you don't want them all over your hand or your skin. So yeah, that's why I'm just going to use this, so I don't have to actually touch them when I pluck them off.
Attached, I guess.
All right, So there's that one. I use a little egg carton today just to throw them into. You'll need something to carry them back, and when you're getting multiples, you could, if you're getting one, you can just have your stick, but if you're getting multiples, this works. That one's ready to go, came right off. So, oh, that one came right off too. Alright, so I got several prickly pear fruits here, and what we're going to do now, you might be wondering, how do we eat these if they have those glochids on there? That's kind of scary. Well, we're actually going to just roast them a little bit. We're going to essentially burn off the little hairs, and they actually burn off pretty easily. You can do this a number of ways. Today, I'm just going to toss them around and fire a bit, but you could literally just take a lighter or something to the outside. But the idea is that we're actually going to remove the skin, and that one that was a little more difficult to get off, you can see the skin started to peel off there. That's what we're going to do. We're going to sear the glochids off so we don't have to get them in our fingers, and then we can easily peel that skin off. That's when we'll reveal the delicious fruit. Alright, so we just kind of sit them on the sticks on top of the fire and try not to get them down in the ashes. But again, we will take the skin off, so that one wants to be down in the ashes. But yeah, if you pile your sticks up, you can usually kind of get them up on there and then they won't completely burn. And you can kind of move them around and just sort of sear off the outer portion. You can kind of like rub a stick on them just to kind of make sure that you're getting all those glochids off. But you don't want to burn them, so you just kind of cook them and then take them off. So yeah, that one's probably about done. And they get pretty hot pretty fast, so that one down in there is getting a little extra roasted, but at least we won't have glochids in our mouth, huh?
Mm-hmm. You only make that mistake once.
Yeah. All right, so now you can just cut each end off. So each end of the fruit should come off, and see, you can handle it now with your hands since you fried it up a little bit. Now you just make a slit right down the side, and that will help you to peel the skin off. So now the skin comes off fairly easy. Just run the knife up through it like that, and then you can start peeling the skin off. Now you can start to see that fleshy fruit on the inside. So that's what we're after, is that kind of beet, red, pinkish fruit, sort of fleshy. Smells really good. It is full of seeds inside of the cactus fruit, and they are hard seeds. It's not gonna hurt you if you eat some. So whatever. Like when you eat a watermelon, you usually take in some seeds and then you just spit them out. So it's possible, but yeah, you're not gonna want to just crunch down on tons of those seeds. So you can, depending on how you're eating it, you can take the fruit flesh out and actually separate it from skin and seeds. Or you can just eat it and then spit out the seeds, and then you'll be propagating more cactus, more food for the future. All right, I had a banana left over, so I'm just gonna mix it here with the fruit, and there we go. Prickly pear cactus fruit, little fruit mix. I only did a little bit today to actually demonstrate, but put a little more work into it, you could have more fruit. Some of those plants had a lot of fruits on them that are ready to go. I kind of wish I saw more animals eating them, but yeah, there's a lot of fruit on here. And like I mentioned, I did do a video on preparing and eating the prickly pear pads as well. So if you haven't seen that, I'll put a link in the description eventually. But yeah, it's in the food and foraging playlist here. So there's a lot of other things in there too that I eat in the wild that you can check out and maybe find something that's in your area, all the way from the Pacific Northwest down to desert delicacies. So see you guys next time from paradise.